5 past and Jim's not here yet, so I'm going to assume he's not going to be able to make it. So why don't we start?
Yep.
Okay. Good evening. It's 6 p.m., June 24th, 2020. I'd like to open the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for this evening. I'd also like to announce that this meeting is being televised via virtual/remote and is being televised on local channel 18. I want to thank everybody for their patience ahead of time as we get used to the new format. Let's see, the call-in number for butters is 508-539-1400, extension 8585 for anybody out there, any butter. Okay, I must insist that we have a 1-minute time limit for butters discussion because there's limited phone lines for people on hold. I understand it's been a standard with ZBA meetings for other towns on the Cape. 2 things that will help the meeting go smoother. I think it would be better to raise your hand to be recognized to speak and to mute your phone when others are speaking. Sharon Singlair and Marianne Ramira are at Town Hall. All other board members and applicants, including myself, will join the call via Zoom. Okay, we'll forego the Pledge of Allegiance because of the current COVID-19 situation. Okay, Jim Gould is absent tonight, so sitting on our first and only hearing will be our 4 regular board members, and why don't we have George join us for tonight's meeting. So Sharon, would you read first the new hearing, please?
14 Bowsprit Point. Owners James R. Sperzel request a special permit under 174-17.1 of the zoning bylaws to raise and replace an existing 4-bedroom residential structure and swimming pool on property located in an R3 zoning district, map 105, parcel 224, Mashpee, Mass.
Hi.
Hello. I know it's difficult to see, but for the record, Kevin Corain, I represent the Spurzels in connection with this raise and replace project under 117.1. I don't know whether you can see it on my plan, but on my plan I have outlined in orange trying to indicate where the existing, what the existing structure is, and then you can see how the new structure is overlaid that particular existing structure to give you an idea of how the building location has been modified and changed. The existing structure was non-conforming in 2 aspects. First, it had a non-conforming side yard in what I would refer to as the northwest corner, and a non-conforming setback from the wetland in what I would refer to as the northeast corner, and that is from a large deck that on the plans that I've attached and also on the photographs that we have provided. In the middle of that deck to the rear of the existing structure is a swimming pool as well. We have proposed to remove that existing structure and replace it with a new structure that actually conforms to the side yard setback criteria and also the setback from the wetland. So we have eliminated the 2 non-conforming aspects of the structure. We've eliminated the side yard aspect and also the setback from the wetland resource area. So currently, under the revised plan, the building itself is set back 15.5 feet from the sideline and some 52 feet from the bank, and 56 feet from the marsh. So those two nonconformities have been eliminated as part of this new proposal. The building that I show you here with the elevations that we provided, the building design by Walter Yarosh, you should have copies of those. I've attached those as well to my written presentation and the floor plan of what is being proposed as that structure. The lot itself is a combination really of two lots shown on a couple of different land court plans. The lot contains just over 18,000 square feet. It was built back in the 80s, and it is currently has a 4-bedroom structure on it, which you can see in the photographs that I provided, and it also had a so-called cabana, which basically provided another bedroom on the existing property. There's also the accessory pool and the accessory dock complex that you can see on the development plan as well. The new structure will contain the 4 bedrooms. There won't be an outlier or cabana or anything of that nature. There will also be an attached garage and a swimming pool, which will be surrounded by earth with a patio blocks or something like that along and around the pool. It's situated in the R3 zoning district, and as you know, that requires 40,000 square feet of lot area and 150 feet of frontage. This lot is non-conforming in that it does not meet those two criteria, and in addition, it allows for a maximum lot coverage of 20% and a building height of 35 feet. As you know, 174-17 allows for a raise and replace project upon the grant of a special permit relief by the Zoning Board of Appeals, and the board must find that we are not creating any new nonconformities in connection with the project, and what we are proposing is not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the existing conditions are, and that there is sufficient land area to provide parking, and as I noted, there is a garage as a part of this proposal. There was no garage on site currently. Why we think it's not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood in that we have eliminated the two nonconformities that existed. The dwelling will be set back, as I said, the proper distance from the sideline as well as the wetlands. In addition, the proposed lot coverage is 19.54, which is below the allowed 20%. The new construction will obviously meet current day code, and there is a new septic system that is proposed as part of this complete raise and replace project. So Tom Bunker is here with me as well, who has prepared that engineering plan. As I said, Walter Yarosh designed the building. I believe you've noted earlier that the project has been approved by the Conservation Commission, and the Board of Health comments said that they would need approval by the Board of Health. They referenced that they didn't have a floor plan. I don't quite understand why, because I submitted that with the plans as well as with my written presentation. So why they don't have a floor plan, I'm not quite sure. But I don't have anything to add to that. I'll be more than happy to respond to any questions that the board may have in connection with the proposal.
Okay. Before we go any further, I just want to welcome Jim to the meeting. Jim, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't find the site in my email.
Not a problem. Unfortunately, we started without you, and I've got George taking your place on voting tonight, but we certainly appreciate any comments that you have now that you're on the call with us. So let me start by saying, Tom Bunker, did you have anything you wanted to add, or did we want to go to questions or what?
I don't have anything particular. I think Kevin covered everything, that probably more than what I would have said. Anyway, the The side setback nonconformity has been eliminated, as has the setback to the rear wetland. New septic system. The house, I guess one thing Kevin didn't mention, that the existing house did not conform to the FEMA regulations as far as building in a flood zone, and this house does conform to the FEMA regulations there as far as flood zone compliance. But other than that, I think Kevin covered everything well.
Okay. Speaking of that, let me ask one question. It's right on the water, and it's going to be a large house. Will there be holding any rainwater off the roof on the site? Is that planned for dry wells or what?
Yes, that I could have covered. I could share my screen if you'd like me to. If you wait
I'm
one
not
second.
sure how you do that.
You can do it.
I'll leave that up to Sharon to figure that out.
You can do it if you want.
Okay. Do you?
Are those infiltration chambers that I'm seeing?
Yeah. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, I have I do. I have it up.
I do.
Too, so.
Okay.
Yeah, there's drainage, and well, I'll let Tom show it.
Yeah, down on both sidelines, high capacity infiltration chambers at the front. On the south side, two sets of them at the front and the rear, and on the north side of the property line, another set of 4 infiltrator chambers there for the roof runoff. And that also, there's a catch basin in the driveway, which will direct to the infiltration chambers, one on the north side and one just outside the garage door. There's another little catch basin that will send more of the driveway runoff into the infiltration chambers.
Excellent. Excellent. That's really the only question I had. I was out to the site, I think it was yesterday, and nice site, nice building that's coming down, and I've looked at the plans. I really don't have any questions whatsoever on it.
I have a question, if I may, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
Could you bring the site plan back up again, Tom, please?
Sure. Hold on.
Where is he?
Click the wrong button.
Oh, there he is.
Okay.
So I think Kevin had mentioned that part of the existing home, and I don't know what it is, was closer than 50 feet to the existing wetland or the resource area. I don't know what that is and what that dimension is, but I think if you can go to your proposed home, please.
Okay. Well, this is the existing here in this corner.
What's the existing? So what are you, 46 feet?
It is actually, well, that one.
Looks like 52. You're not counting the patio.
It's 52 to the structure. I think the dimension Kevin was reading, there's 46 feet. The errors get a little confused up in this corner here. It's 46 feet from the patio to the wetland, and also 46 feet from the structure to the top of the coastal bank. 52 feet at this point from the structure to the wetland. So it actually is, as far as the structure to a wetland there, it meets the 52. If you see this line right, and my hand is tracing sort of, is the 50 feet from the wetland. And it's,
So what
is
is so?
inside of it, but the structure is just outside of it.
If you could show, all right. So the proposed.
Yeah, and in the same rough.
46 feet to the bank, 50 feet to marsh.
Yeah.
So 40 feet is still all right. I'm fine. No problem.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Will I stop the share here?
All right. Bill, I think you raised your hand.
I just wanted to say I don't have any issues with anything I've seen. Oh, I'm on mute.
No, he just muted himself.
You just muted yourself. You weren't on mute.
Now I'm not on mute. Okay.
No, now we can
Sorry,
hear you.
I'm not technically astute. I don't have any problems with this. I think the project makes this more conforming than it was before, and so I have no issues whatsoever.
I agree with Bill. They could have gone a lot closer to the lot line the way our rules are, and they didn't. They pulled it away.
I agree. Jim Gould, any comments at all?
No, no, thank you.
Jim Rathod?
No.
Okay. How about you, George?
Nope, it looks fine to me.
Yeah, it's, as I say, it looks like a slam dunk to me. I have no issues whatsoever on it. It's a nice looking project. You've gone over and above by pulling it away from the sideline. You've met every criteria. I've got no issues whatsoever. I think we have some, probably, do we have anybody that's calling in that has a question?
No,
Nope.
we had one person, but he just didn't hear the sound in the very beginning, but he must be okay now.
You didn't ask me if I had any comments.
Well, you already gave your
Well,
comment.
I have a comment. I was wondering if I could take control of Bill Blaisdell's mute button.
If you'd like to, you're welcome to. Come on over.
I have no comments, thank you.
Okay. Sharon, would you read the conservation comments?
Hi, Mary Ann. This project has been approved by Conservation and issued a permit, 14 Bow Sprint Point, Drew. And I have
And that's an email dated what? June
18th, 2020.
Yeah, June 18th, 2020. And I believe we have Board of Health comments we need to read in.
Yeah.
Did you get those too?
Those are dated June 24th, 2020. Board of Health comments, the septic plan has been approved by the Board of Health. Septic permit must be obtained by a licensed septic installer prior to issuance of a building permit. A rodent control inspection is required to be performed by an agent of the Board of Health, and an asbestos inspection must be performed by a private asbestos inspector as part of the demolition checklist. The floor plans of the proposed floor plan have not been provided. Demolition checklist shall be completed prior to demo permit sign-off.
Okay. Mine said in the beginning, the septic plan must be approved by the Board of Health.
I don't know what I said.
Is that what you said?
Well, that, I might have said something wrong, but it does say must on here.
Must
Must
Yeah.
be obtained by a, yeah.
must be approved by the Board of Health.
Oh,
No, that just means the septic, before they'll give them a permit, issue a permit, a licensed septic installer has to file an application. That's all that means. They're not going to issue, Board of Health won't sign off until a septic company that's authorized, licensed, can obtain it. That's just a standard practice. Just a reminder
Okay.
for the building.
Anything else before we turn it over to Ron Bonby?
Mary Ann sent Ron an email.
Got it.
Okay.
Perfect. Oh,
Bill?
Bill?
I just think Ron needs to include in his motion the condition of, it says all conditioned on the all town departments, but also most notably the Board of Health.
Got it. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so no final comments? Is that it? All right, Ron, would you make a motion?
I would love to make a motion. I would like to make a motion that we issue a special permit to James R. Sparzel of 14 Bowsprit Point for the issuance under Section 174.17.1 of the zoning bylaw to raise and replace the existing four-bedroom residential structure, swimming pool, and property located in R3 zoning district, map 105, parcel 224, Mashpee, Mass, with the following conditions. 1. The board has determined that the applicant meets all the conditions of the special permit under Mass General Law 48, Section 9. Site plan, existing conditions, prepared for James R. Sparzel, 14 Bowsprit Point, Mashpee, Mass, prepared by BSS Design Engineering and Surveying, scale equals 1 inch equals 20 feet, date April 20th, 2020, drawn by EJP, checked by TB, job number 18168, revisions, added 50-foot buffer from Coastal Bank, May 12, 2020, EJB, title, existing conditions and demolition, sheet 1 of 2, drawing number B64, proposed conditions, and subsurface sewage disposal system upgrade, prepared for James R. Sparzel, 14 Bowsprit Point, Mashpee, Mass, prepared by BSS Design Engineering Surveying, scale 1 inch equals 20 feet, dated April 20th, 2020, drawn by EJP, R check, JER, job number 18168, revisions, revised planting based on 50-foot buffer from Coastal Bank, May 12, 2020, EJB. Title, site plan and SSDS, sheet 2 of 2, drawing number B26-74. House plan, 14 Bowsprit Point, Mashpee, Mass, provided by Yarish Associates, Inc. Architects and planners is drawing number 1, front elevation. Water side elevation, A2. Left side elevation, right side elevation, A3. Proposed prints, first floor plan, A4, section floor plan. Conditioned on all town department comments read into the record, including but not limited to Board of Health and Conservation comments.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Bill second, so let's do a roll call. George, how do you vote?
Approved, yes.
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes?
Scott?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And I vote yes. So there you go.
Thank you very much.
Slam dunk, as they say.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Everyone have a good night.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, the board has a little bit more work before we're done, though. Okay. So, Sharon, would you read the first other business?
Move to approve the meeting minutes of May 13th, 2020.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. Okay, the only other thing I have under additional topics is, this is the end of the fiscal year. Is that correct, Mary Ann?
Yes.
So, on the next meeting, we're going to need to reorganize the board.
Okay.
So, I want to make sure that everybody, number one, thinks about that, and number two, Mary Ann, to make sure that we put everything together to include that on the next agenda.
Okay, sounds good. I can do that.
Sound good?
Yes, our next meeting is July 8th.
I lost you. Say it again.
July 8th.
July 8th is the next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, I think it's time. Okay, why don't we have Jim? Jim, would you like to make the motion to close? Jim Rayford?
It's two Jims.
Oh, yes, I will do that. I'll make a motion that we adjourn the meeting. I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Good night.
Great job tonight. Very easy.
Thank you.
Everybody get some rest, as they say, and we'll see you later on.
Mr. Chairman,
Take care.
Can
Yes,
I
Bill.
announce, can I announce, I just found out I'm in remission.
Great.
Great.
I'm a little nervous, so thank you for your best wishes and your prayers.
Excellent.
Great news.
Excellent.
So happy.
Great
Thank
news.
you for
That was a great
sharing
way to
that
end the
with us.
meeting.
Thank you.
Right within the meeting.
Take care, Jim.
Okay,
All right,
so good night, everyone.
good night.
Hey, I'll be in touch with you, John, for a signature.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.